Hey, yo. Yes, sir. Hey, welcome back to ATP Ask the People. First and foremost, I want to thank everybody for participating and commenting and just being part of this whole thing we got going. I really do appreciate it. It's a movement, folks. State Question 792 was passed with overwhelming success. That was our first initiative as Ask the People. We went and asked, and y'all spoke, so the state listened. That's how it goes, all right? So, next on the list, now not only do we do the current events, we also follow current music, okay? You guys know of a local group, artist, whatever, they're popping, and they need to be known, let me know. I'll go talk to them, get a little interview or something, get some of their music on our page. The first group that I had the pleasure of sitting down with was the Fervent Route. Great band, rapper, his name is Original Flow, out of Oklahoma City. Shout out to the Fervent Route. Great guys, man. Y'all catch them at your local, bars, clubs. Great group of guys. So I sat down with them. This is the interview that I had with Flo. And then I got some other stuff coming up with the band too. So you guys enjoy. I got a Christmas party I got to get back to. So y'all have a good night. ATP Ask the People. Happy holidays.
How you doing, man?
I'm good. Once again, thanks for your time. I appreciate it. It's one of these things that these type of interviews I do look forward to because I genuinely enjoy your music.
Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? You really got some powerful lyrics. But before we get into all that, I want the people to get to know Original Flow.
Okay.
First and foremost, Original Flow, where does the name come from?
Man, it comes from just the bond that I have with me and my pops.
Yeah.
Well, basically, he was always coaching me on, being myself and being proud of who I am as an individual. And so he always tried to coach me into that direction. I guess you can say that the name kind of adapted itself from his coaching. Kind of made Original Flows. It's kind of like a representation of who I am myself. Just, someone who's original in being myself. My real name is Christopher George Akoff the First.
That sounds like some status to that name. For real. Now, tell me about that. Are you lineage to? Are you a junior? Or?
No, I'm the first. My dad is a junior. He wanted me to kind of have my own fresh start, so he did Christopher George. His name is actually George Christopher Akoff. So our names are reversed, and he has the name of his father, my grandpa.
That's dope. That's dope. So for you, in regards to hip hop, where can you say it all started?
Hip hop, I will say it started massively in middle school. That's where I really started getting focused on hip hop itself. I started doing a lot more writing and raps. I started doing just a lot more, just adding beats. I did my own production. So I was always working on stuff and just making beats and writing and just doing a lot of that.
Right on. And now in this process of writing, making beats, and kind of self-discovering, so to speak, what inspirations, like in regards to outside influences in music or culture or anything, where'd you draw from when it came to Original Flow putting down his own piece of art?
Man, I will say that a lot of my influences come from my surroundings. So as I was growing up, we came to live on the east side on Phillips with my mom and my two sisters. It was definitely an experience. The first day we move in, we're picking rooms, and my oldest sister, she goes down to pick her room. It was like a garage they made into a room. And what happened was she lifts up this carpet because she sees this carpet is real nasty. So she's like, oh, I don't want this carpet. And as soon as she does this, it's like this horror film. All these roaches start running out, and it was just terrible. I was like, oh my God, I ran out the house. I was like, I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here. And it was just always something there, but, it felt like home. And even though it was just a lot of dangerous things out there, God kind of gave me the ability to, turn all that negativity into something to write about versus, being consumed by what was going on. Because it was prostitution, it was crackheads running around. They used to have dog fights right across from us. It was just really bad, and the dogs that didn't get killed, they just let them free. And sometimes I had to walk to school, and it was just dangerous. So, a lot of that I dealt with was, implemented into my music that I write about, and just knowing that, where I come from is humbling. To know that, that even my situation is not the worst situation that's ever been around. It's just like it's places that's way worse. People hearing about that, it's like, man, bro, I wish I just had a prostitute. So it's just like it's just humbling to know that I had a roof over my head, and I know a lot of other people suffer worse. So I'm thankful for where I am today and where I was. It made me who I am today.
Absolutely. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I can relate, because where I'm from, unfortunately too, it was, we were plagued and infested by the wrong ideas of growing up, and the wrong ideas of maintaining your time and occupying your time. And so when you look at the climate now in regards to hip hop, where do you see it going in regards to that kind of like street mentality in the hip hop game, versus more of the conscious and a more kind of like poetic style of hip hop? Now, obviously, I know where you're sided. I know where you are on the side of the fence. But in regards to now, how do you feel the climate of hip hop is in that sense, and where do you think it's going, and where do you think it should go?
Where I think it's going right now, I think it's going in a good place. Hip hop has always been the genre that evolves. It's always been the one that moves, and a lot of people, even a lot of old heads, will say like, "Nah, man, it's like this negativity that's going on heavy." I was just like, it's always been some negativity in hip hop. I just feel like, as far as an artist, you have to realize that there has to be this type of roller coaster ride when it comes to music, and able for the new hip hop to come out. The old hip hop has to be evolved. It has to be changed. So that goes for what we're dealing with now, what we dealt with in the past. What I do right now would be a little bit different from the old school. So you just really got to think of it in terms of that. And I feel like it's going to a good place, as long as we have people who have the creative mind and who want to speak about issues and their story, who want to talk about their story. I think we're always going to have something good in hip hop. That's not always going to be a glory day for hip hop to where it's all what one person likes, because not everyone likes the same type of music. Music is all about creativity, and it's not about who likes this and who likes that. But I feel like as long as we have stories to tell, and as long as we have people around who care about those stories, I think we will always have something in hip hop for sure. I think it's going to a good place.